today my guest is Jonathan January, and we're going to enjoy some of his beautiful music playing on his flute and enjoy some of his guitar playing. Yes, Jonathan January is one of the best musicians here in Terre Haute. He plays for me, so you know he's got to be good. Yeah, so hey, let's talk about something. Let's talk about what's going on with McDonald's. Did you know McDonald's has pulled out of Russia because of, everything that's going on in Russia? My thought is, McDonald's, you need to get your butt back over there in Russia and give them high cholesterol and heart attacks like we are here in America. Let's make it fair. We gotta make it fair. Make it fair. Playing now. I even got a better idea. How about having some of them McDonald's crew people go out there on the front lines and throw them guys some hamburgers and fries and supersize that stuff? I think that would be a good idea. That would help us out. So I have this show. It's called Sippin Tea with Lisa D. My plan is to introduce you to some people you should know in music, venues, and talents, and also have you get to know some of the venues I work with. The home of Sippin Tea with Lisa D is Holly's Bar and Grill in Terre Haute, Indiana. It's owned by Gretchen and Melissa. They are some great people. So if you're ever down here in Terre Haute, Indiana, come on down to Holly's Bar and Grill. You know, I saw that slap by Will Smith. I watched it, and I was amazed how Jada had control over Will like she did. I mean, she literally just flipped her eyes up in the air, and Will was like, what do you want me to do? Slap, slap, slap. Yeah, that was some amazing stuff Jada did with her eyes. I'm just telling you, but everything else going on in the world. So I want to introduce you to my guest. Today's guest for Sippin Tea with Lisa D is Jonathan January. And he is a musician. He plays the flute. He plays with several bands here in the area where I live. And he goes all over the place. He's played with so many bands. How many bands do you think he played with, Jonathan? Dozens. Dozens
but I'm only playing with 3 right now.
He's only playing with 3 right now. We are only on 3 right now. So, let's give a hand for Jonathan January and his musical talent.
Thank you. I'm going to play along with a backing track right now. You can afford to help your brother. If you continue to help yourself, you can afford to help your brother. If you continue to help yourself. The king is as strong as his weakest link. It's kind of right or wrong, don't you think? You got a house in the country, in the high rise, office downtown. Got a house in the country, in the high rise, office downtown. Father, screams of justice, can't even hear us. darling, let it grow. Let the waters roll. Now where were you? The wind was howling. Let it grow. And the waters roll. Only advice that the hair for the ground was taking your head.
Yeah, what do you have next for us?
Oh, you want to know?
Yes, what's that
The next one, I'll tell you a little something about that one. The fellow that was playing the keyboard on that was Reese Lyons. He plays with the Joe Von Massa band now. We were really fortunate that he was available in Nashville when we made that record. Came over and helped us out tremendously.
So that's the record you played on?
Yeah, that was me. I wrote that song. Me and Sippin Tea.
That is a Jonathan January original.
On everything.
Yeah.
George Marinelli from Bonnie Raitt's band did the engineering for us. And we had a great time. Rick Provine from Greencastle, Paul University played percussion on that track. And Alex Cuba played the harmonica in there. And kind of stepped on a little bit there. Alex is amazing. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, this next one is one of my son. My son is a rapper and a beat maker, and he made this beat for me. Play over. As soon as I can plan it. And Mark, what's the technology?
And should I add, Jonathan January is a musician extraordinaire, plays with all types of bands here in the area. He's amazing, amazing.
Be quiet.
written by your son. Your son did that.
Yeah, he made that beat. He calls it beat making. He doesn't call it songwriting, but he's a quiet musician himself, multi-instrument.
Goodness. Well, Mr. January, why don't you come on down and sip some tea with Lisa D? Let me get you in there. There you go. Say hi, everybody. This is Jonathan January. We are sipping on today. This is the Thursday drink of the day. Their Thirsty Thursday drink. It is called a Long Island iced tea. Long Island iced tea. So, and he is having what is that? A John Palmer?
It's an Arnold Palmer.
Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, it's awful. Now, but they made a drink for Arnold, so make the title. They didn't make a drink.
Maybe they do need a drink for Tiger. Put a little Tiger blood in it. But cheers. That is some good Long Island iced tea. Here at Tommy's Bar and Grill. We're sipping tea from Lisa D. So I want to sit down and ask you some questions. Well, let's talk about some topics going on. Ketanji Brown Jackson. She has been confirmed. She is now, yes, Supreme Court. She has been confirmed. Yay, Tangi, way to go. Yes, it's about that time. What took him so long? What took him so long? So what that means for people of color is so much more representation in the Supreme Court and with justice, with all the things that
well, she's going to cancel out Senator Thomas.
Yeah.
That's the thing, it's kind of back to zero at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and then, actually, news too. Today, guess who tested positive for COVID? Nancy Pelosi. Pelosi tested positive for COVID today. So COVID is still out there. I mean, the top 3 hot spots right now for COVID: Wyoming, Kentucky, and Texas. Yeah. So have you had COVID yet?
No, I don't think so. I haven't been dying. I think it's kind of sick. But it's like after I got my second shot, which is really a third shot for most people. The first one I got was back to and after that shot, I got kind of sick for about 3 days.
Really?
But I mean,
but you didn't get COVID.
No, I haven't been. I had friends I was working with. One guy, he was incubated for almost like a month.
Wow. Wow. That's it is no joke. It is real. Because I had the joy of catching COVID twice. I caught it in 2020, and then I caught it in January of this year. And I even had the daggone vaccine. I got the vaccine. But I guess what they say is the vaccine doesn't mean that you won't catch it. It just means that it catches you back. So, but, it's a virus that's constantly going to mutate. And it's just something that we're probably going to have to live with from now on. I mean, it's just going to be with us. So the other thing you were, and here we go. Let's listen here. What's going on here?
Cloture time has expired. The question occurs on the nomination of Ketanji Brown Jackson of the District of Columbia to be an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States.
I ask for the yeas and
nays. Is there a sufficient second? There is, and certainly appears to be, a sufficient second. The clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Baldwin. Ms. Baldwin, aye. Mr. Barrasso. Mr. Barrasso, no. Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, aye. Mrs. Blackburn. Mrs. Blackburn, no. Mr. Blumenthal. Mr. Blumenthal, aye. Mr. Blunt. Mr. Blunt, no. Mr. Booker. Yes. Mr. Booker, aye. Mr. Bozeman. Mr. Bozeman, no. Mr. Braun. Mr. Braun, no. Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, aye. Mr. Burr. Mr. Burr, no. Ms. Cantwell. Ms. Cantwell, aye. Mrs. Capito. Mrs. Capito, no. Mr. Cardin. Mr. Cardin, aye. Mr. Carper. Mr. Carper, aye. Mr. Casey. Mr. Casey, aye. Mr. Cassidy. Mr. Cassidy, no. Ms. Collins. Ms. Collins, aye. Mr. Coons. Mr. Coons, aye. Mr. Cornyn. Mr. Cornyn,
It was actually a very close vote. It was like 53 to 47, I think. So it was actually very close to her not being able to do it. Yeah. And the other thing that I have in common with Jonathan, his wife, Juliet, I've known their family for a very long time. And she had cancer. And she passed away how many years ago?
About 6 years.
About 6 years. And the great thing about Jonathan is he's been sending me messages, been sending me information on how to heal cancer with your mind using meditation. So,
I wish we'd known more about that then. I guess that's why I did after she passed on. When you're going through it, you just kind of follow, the healthcare that you were told about. And unfortunately, I had to listen to it. But, it doesn't, this come out of the talk. But before that, I had gone to the church.
It's my feel good
The meditation. And when I started studying after school, a lot of the things that I had learned and was just taken on faith, there's actually a lot of scientific truth. There's such things as quantum entanglement and different things, verb vibration. And there's lots of ways to get into
also, let's see what we have here.
Bringing you those feel-good vibes on a Wednesday morning on Espresso. Once again, thank you very much for joining us. Now, we've all heard that a healthy mind means a healthy body. But what if a disease like cancer can actually be cured with nothing but the mind? Well, Ewan hopes to find the answer to that very question.
With the winter flu already in full swing, everyone's worst fear is getting sick. But what if sickness is just a state of mind? Can you actually think yourself better? Well, in studies covering 4 decades, Harvard University psychology professor Dr. Alan Langer has shown that mental attitude can reverse the effects of aging and improve physical health. Now she wants to test that theory on cancer. Dr. Alan, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Welcome to South Africa once again.
Thank you.
So for those viewers who missed your visit to us last time around, please explain to us or just break down the theory of mindfulness and how that works.
Mindfulness is the process of actively noticing new things. When you actively notice new things, that puts you in the present, makes you sensitive to context and perspective. It's the essence of engagement. And what happens is, as you're noticing these new things about things you thought you knew, you come to see, gee, you didn't know it as well as you had thought. Then I use this idea of noticing new things to recognize that much of what the medical world teaches us may not be quite as accurate as we might believe. People experience symptoms, but the symptoms are never exactly the same. Sometimes they're better, sometimes they're worse, sometimes they don't even exist. And so the question is, do you have the disease when you don't have any symptoms?
We can. Yeah, because it seems to be positive thoughts, positive energy, and getting in tune with your emotions and feelings seems to be a big way to fight disease. Okay, now I have some questions for you. All right, so what kind of artists do you work with?
Well, generally, those that have kind of interest in music that I do, go along with it, I guess. I like to play music that goes along with whatever I feel. All of it, probably best way to go last, like someone on drawing.
Okay. So where have you played at? What kind of venues have you played at?
I play anywhere there's space, pretty much. I played here at college several times, but because we go to the manufacturing floor and here in Fairhope. We play all over the place. We do a lot of festivals through the summer. We play at Charlie's, places all around.
So what would you say is your best, most memorable show ever? What was your best show ever?
Is also my drummer in
So what artist inspires you? What artist makes you go, wow?
There's so many good and I was coming out with a handful of guitar players and stuff like that. Well, let's go to that.
Yeah. So what is your dream gig? What is the gig that you get that was just your bucket list gig? Coachella? Coachella?
I love that.
Coachella. And how can my viewers find you?
I'm on Facebook. Pretty much like that. So whenever if they draw your.
Find you on Facebook, and he does a whole lot of. He plays everywhere and does a whole lot of music. So would you like to join me on stage and do a song with me?
Every ticket, right? Every number.
So me and Jonathan's going to do a song for you.
You can put that number on this ticket, that number. So when they grab your.
Probably ought to give a shout out to Brian Barber. And you do your, you got to do all that. There's a lot of people like Brian Barber. I did it from Brian Barber, he's clear.
So let's play a little bit of that rhythm's gonna get you. Okay, that was a little bit of rhythm's gonna get you. Now what about that Live Each Day? Live Each Day is a special song to me because it's a song that I wrote after having cancer. Yes. each day with the assist of Jonathan January. So, folks, it's come to the end of my show. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Thank you for Sippin Tea with Lisa D. And if you want to be on my show, just hit me up at my site on Facebook. Sippin Tea with Lisa D is on Facebook. And hey, you know, you can be on the show. If you want to be part of the audience, I actually have an audience out here. Everybody say hey! So if you want to be part of the audience, come on down to Polly's on Thursdays. Later! Thank you for Sippin Tea with me, Lisa D. Later.